Tomorrow at around 13:10 hours, Manchester United is playing its third game of the preseason against Crystal Palace here for you, and we're here to really bring you what we call the match preview, featuring the predicted lineup with the for you and how Crystal Palace is going to stand as they really play Manchester United for their second game of the season for them, because the first game they were beaten by Liverpool by 2-0 in Singapore. That's where that really game came on and really happened in there for you. But as we speak right about now, Crystal Palace is in Australia, Melbourne, and you're going to play this game in Perth, and Erik ten Hag is going to manage his third game as a United manager. Though not competitive, but a friendly, but it's giving us and showing us how United is going to shape up into this season in here for you, where we are playing a team which goes by the names of Crystal Palace in there for you. Welcome to United Matters channel. How are you guys, and where are you watching us from? I go by the names of Rock and David. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. It's a preseason friendly. Remember, the first preseason friendly we played against Liverpool, we beat it by 4-0. Martial on the score sheet, Sancho, Facundo Pellistri, and who else? It was Sancho, Freddy Rodriguez, Facundo Pellistri, and Anton Martial for you. In our second game, we beat Melbourne by 3-1. I think there were 4-1. Martial on the score sheet. Scott McTominay deflected shot into the back of the net. Then an own goal and a Rashford goal in there for you. So United looks like for the previous two games we've been scoring close to 4 goals. And most of those goals, really 2 of those at least on average, come in the first half. That means United now has adapted the system of killing games into the first half and really getting on the score sheet as soon as possible. And there are 2 things to learn from these games. The game of Liverpool, United was the first to really score, and they maintained that lead in the for you. But in the game of Melbourne, they scored us first, and so the lesson to learn from that game was that United showed us that under Erik ten Hag, they can go behind by 1 goal and they really come back and win by 4 in there for you. So I really believe that those are really 2 good statistics and 2 different situations that players are really getting used to, and they give you the shape of United in the way. Because in every game of football, you'll never go ahead to lead. You might win very many games, but it does not mean that every game of football you're going to win, you have to first go on and really be the first to score. In certain games, you can even go 2 goals down and then you come back. You see, you remember those comebacks under Sir Alex Ferguson. I think we are yet to get back to that level in there for you, that even when a team has really scored against us, the team cannot be there saying that, all right, be confident saying that, all right, United is done and it's not going to come back. But as we are playing, obviously the system of Erik ten Hag enables you to really come back into the game and really go ahead and really win it a lot of times in the field. Now, before I get into the United predicted 11, I think let me first get you the United predicted 11, then I come in and bring you how Crystal Palace lined up against Liverpool to show to it that, to me, I'm rating this, while I'm taking this game as the first real test for Erik ten Hag. This is the first real test for Erik ten Hag as far as this game of football is concerned, because he is really going to face a Premier League side that is really fully fit. They've played 1 game with Liverpool, though there are not going to be some players in the field like 3 or 4, but the shape of Crystal Palace is the same. The physicality, the press, you get? I want to see, can we outpass Crystal Palace? Can our midfield really dominate that of Crystal Palace in the for you? Can Martial really go ahead and really boss the back 4 of Crystal Palace? So that's what I'm really waiting for. And how Harry Maguire is going to behave when he's having on the Matetas of this world, the Jordan Ayew's, the Winfred Zaha's. That's how I really want to see how he's really going to behave into this game of football in there for you. So let's get straight into the predicted lineup of United. I've brought 2 lineups. I brought 2 lineups as I did last time. One that's going to play into the first half, and the one that's going to play in the second half, because that's how Erik ten Hag has been going on doing his game in the for you. System is 4-2-3-1. Obviously, he's playing with a double pivot. He has not yet tried out a 4-3-3. I don't know why, but we expect David De Gea to return. Remember, in that game of Melbourne victory, David De Gea never showed up. He never was into that goal, and who was in goal for the entire 90 minutes? It was Tom Heaton, and first and foremost, he had his first full 90 minutes as a United goalkeeper in the era of Erik ten Hag. So we expect David De Gea to come in through and play into that goal position, because in this game, that's where Erik ten Hag is going to go on and test. Is he really so much good onto being as a super goalkeeper? How is his ball distribution? his confidence on the ball and how he's really going to be distributing it around into the game of football, because he knows that Crystal Palace are really going to be the first real test in there for you, and David De Gea needs to be part of this team in here onto United Matters channel. Then we go to the right back. Obviously, Diego Dalot is really going to play on the right back. Obviously, he has really impressed a lot under Erik ten Hag. Remember that goal that we scored against Melbourne Victory, the second one. He was really so much pivotal into it because he made that run to the blind side of the pitch. Then Sancho released him and really laid into a pass that really found Elanga, and Elanga really just did a simple touch to Anton Martial, and Anton Martial controlled the ball as a typical number 9 and put it into the back of the net. That is Anthony Martial in there for you. So after that, we expect Dalot to come in through, though rumors saying that United, after bringing in Lisandro Martinez, United are really going straight to bring in a right back. I don't know. We've been linked to a right back of Rennes who goes by names of Jonathan Klaus, but rumor has it that Marseille has really bid in for him, and the undeniable bid has been made. If it's true, the player supports Manchester United, and if at all there is genuine interest from Manchester United, that player will have to come to Manchester United. But let's wait and see how that transforms in for you. But the player is at 11 million euros. That's it. That's cheap player in the for you. But he really had 11 assists and 5 goals in that League One last season in the for you, and he made his debut for the French national team in the for you. Luke Shaw expected to play with the left back of United. Obviously, looks like Ten Hag really is building his team, and because it looks like he's being left with such a limited time, he's saying, let me really field this team such that I see how they play and I see most of the mistakes they are making, for reason that when we are playing Brighton at Old Trafford on the 7th of August, I'll be able to see all the mistakes into the game or field of play in there. So Luke Shaw is expected to start onto the left fullback as it has already started. But the problem I have with him is that he has not yet really gotten back to that Luke Shaw that is so much electrifying, exciting, good cross of the ball, and so much tracking back. Because that goal that they scored us against Melbourne Victory, there is the way he really left that line blank. That's why they passed that ball past the midfielder, and then they found Lindelof. They caught him off guard, and then a counter. Then United considered a goal. So I believe Luke Shaw needs to go in and really do the needful and really improve onto that, because he is a senior player. And we don't expect Malacia to be learning from Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw to be learning from Malacia. It should be vice versa. Malacia should be learning it from the senior player. And if at all Luke Shaw continues to be doing such mistakes, I know Malacia will come and take over that position that is really into as a United left back. But he's going to start in the left back tomorrow. I'm 100% sure in there for you, because his lineup that has been really starting is really, he can't change it on a real, because this is a real test. This is a really test in there for you. Then Harry Maguire. Obviously today Erik ten Hag had like an interview and confirmed that Harry Maguire is a starter in his team. He's the captain and he's the starter. That he has been really a very good player in the era of Ralf Rangnick, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and his spell at the England national team has been really great. So he has said this lad has to be a starter in there, the side which goes by names of Manchester United in there for you. So he's going to play on the right side of the central defense, and on the left is Rafael Varane. We're welcoming in Rafael Varane from injury. That's it, because he really had an injury and never played that game of Melbourne Victory, and I think he's going to partner him with Harry Maguire into that midfield, because into that central defense, because last time when Maguire played with Victor Lindelof, they were exposed because all of them are very slow and they couldn't match up the pace of, is it Kongolumidis, that guy that really scored us a goal in that game of Melbourne in the for you. And a few times we were exposed because we are playing a high line. Then when Eric Beck came in to play with Alex Telles, they couldn't really beat our high line because Eric Bay is so much fast and he could really track back early enough to stop the run of those center forwards of a side which goes by names of Melbourne Victory in there for you. So the back four is Dalot right back, Luke Shaw left back, Varane and Maguire central defense. Obviously those are my expectations in there for you, but I've been so much on point. At least I just get like two players to miss out in my starting 11 in there for you. of Manchester United. Every time I really come on, predict them in here onto this channel, which goes by the United Matters channel, and you guys are really enjoying it by far. Scott McTominay into the down midfield pivot. I really have reservations on Scott McTominay, although he scored a goal, but he hides a lot when the ball is with the back four or with the goalkeeper. The way he hides in the players, in the opponent players of the other team, I don't know why he's so much afraid to go in and really get that ball. I can't believe that that is an instruction that Erik ten Hag is giving him. I know Erik ten Hag wants a player to be visible in the field of play, especially the midfield, where the games of football are lost and won. Erik ten Hag would like to have a player who is really so much dynamic and everywhere onto the field of play. That is Scott McTominay. So we expect to it that he comes in here and really shows us his real quality and what he has improved under the era of Erik ten Hag. Because under the era of Ralf Rangnick, I saw him reduce on the side passes he used to make in the game, and he converted them into forward passes. Every time he looked like he was turning left and going to pass onto the left or right, he just turned into the center and really found out that forward pass. So forward passing is the way to go. So Scott McTominay, we expect you tomorrow to play a very good game in there for you. That is Scott McTominay in there for you. Then in the pivot, he's having Freddie Rodriguez. Obviously, Freddie is now the sitting midfielder or holding midfielder, and the pivot, he's like a CDM. You get? And he gives the back four the cover they want, and Erik ten Hag has given him that responsibility to get that ball from the back four and then move it through the central axis to the likes of Bruno in there for you. So his main aim is to link the midfield to the forwards. So we expect him to do it more and more and more oftenly. Sorry about that. We expect him to be doing it more and more oftenly to link the midfield to the attack, because the moment you don't link the midfield to the attack, that means you'll have isolated Bruno Fernandes, Sancho, Martial, name it, whoever is really going to be playing into that side. So I expect him to be playing into that way, and we expect lots of link-up plays from the midfield to the forwards. Then the central attack midfielder, obviously that is Bruno Fernandes Borges. He's really changed his game a lot. I'm happy about him. He doesn't pass aimlessly, doesn't shoot aimlessly either for you. He doesn't really do those diagonals that are so much off point. He's really taking his time. He's so much calm and composed onto the ball, and he is really acting as a real number 10. Give us the control of the game, pass where necessary, and take a shot where necessary. Don't just do things as you want them to do, but you have to first see to it that you are really doing things that are benefiting your team. So this is what Erik ten Hag has instilled into this team, that no one is going to go out there and shoot aimlessly. Even I saw Freddie in the previous game we played against Melbourne before we scored a goal, when Freddie was outside the 18 yards box area trying to go in and really make aimless shots. And I think when he really went in the dressing room, Erik ten Hag backed at him and told him, Freddie, that's not your role. Shooting is not that. We expect you to pass that ball to find out a player such that we score clean goals. It's written nowhere that every shot you direct at goal will go into the back of the net. That's out. That's out. But in the game like this, you just have to go on and really continue passing that ball, and the more you pass out that ball, the more your opponent will get exposed, and you'll find out a pass and a goal will be created and the team will win. So that's what Erik ten Hag believes in. He believes in goals that are team goals. Not goals like that of Scott McTominay against Melbourne that he will deflect off the defender to go into the back of the net. He doesn't believe in such. So Bruno is so much improved into this game of football in there for you. And let's go to the right attacking midfielder, or the right attacking midfielder in there for you. Jadon Sancho. Jadon Sancho obviously playing onto that side of the right, and Erik ten Hag held them a lot with Diego Dello. The right side, the right flank was so much active, and that's where most of the activity really took place during the first half of the game in there for you. So Sancho is expected to come in through, because he really played very well and looked very well into that game of a side which goes by the names of Melbourne. Then Anthony Elanga is expected to start into this lineup of United. As you see him there very well, he never really had a very good game, though he really had like 2 balls he directed to Martial, and the second ball he really gave to Martial resulted into an assist. And I really believe that that assist he really put up for United is really going to grant him a start into the game of Crystal Palace tomorrow. And who is leading the line? Obviously, that is Anton Martial, a man who is on fire. 2 games, 2 goals, and he's really enjoying the moment, as Erik ten Hag told him that you have to go ahead and really fight for your position in here at Manchester United, because you are really talented, but you need to fight for your position, and you need to be really giving us statistics when we really need them. So my first half starting 11: David De Gea in goal, right back that is Diego Dello, left back Luke Shaw, central midfield, central defenders Harry Maguire on the right side of the central defense, Rafael Varane on the left side of the central defense, and the coming in of Lisandro Martinez obviously shows you that we are really going to get one of these out of the pitch, you see. Then Freddie and Scott McTominay in a double midfield pivot, Bruno as a central attacking midfielder, Sancho as the right attacking midfielder, then Anthony as a left attacking midfielder, and Anton Martial will lead the line for United for you in a system of 4-2-3-1. Let's go to the second lineup. I really want to do chap because I really believe that we have lots of things to do onto this. Now, the second lineup also lining up in a 4-2-3-1 in there for you. We are going to do it chap in there for you, because you guys need to really get yourselves to the final point of really showing you how Crystal Palace will lined up against Liverpool, and then we do the comparison. This is Tom Heaton in goal. It's going to be in goal in there for you. Then we are going to be having Nathan Laird to play as the right back in there for you. I believe that United have really come out to a final conclusion that Aaron Wan-Bissaka needs to be sold, and now he's not in the plans of Erik ten Hag. So why should Erik ten Hag field a player whom he doesn't have in his plans on the field of play? That's why I think he was left out in the game of Melbourne and never really played in the right back, and Laird really had a part to play. Malacia obviously is going to have a part to play into this game of football against a side which goes by the Crystal Palace in the second half in there for you. He has played 2 games so far, 45 minutes, but we are waiting to see how he really gets a total fit into this game of football. Eric Pay on the right side of the central defense, having got himself involved in 2 goals in the previous 2 games, especially that of Rashford was really so much good, and that he really ran through and gave Pelestri. Pelestri gave it to Amad Diallo, and Amad Diallo gave it back to Pelestri, and Pelestri scored that 4th goal against Liverpool. I think he's really granting himself a chance and keeping himself in the know and mind of Erik ten Hag in there for you. Victor Lindelof is going to play as a left-sided central defender. Remember, he played as a left-sided central defender against Melbourne, but the return of Varane doesn't really give him a chance to start into that defense of Manchester United in there for you. We go to the double midfield pivot. It's obviously Zidane Iqbal and Charlie Savage are going to play into that double midfield pivot of United as we play a side which goes by names of Crystal Palace in the second half. It would have been James Garner, but James Garner has just returned on the pitch, and I don't expect him to start in any game tomorrow until that game you're going to play, I think, on Friday or Saturday against Aston Villa, and then James Garner will go ahead and really showcase his goodies to the manager of Manchester United, that is Erik ten Hag in there for you. So Zidane and Charlie Savage are really good players and really making wonders at United, and we expect to go on and really do those wonders game in, game out always. Danny Van Beek, central attacking midfielder, but he has not really enjoyed this game, and we've not yet seen those glimpses of Danny Van Beek either for you. I don't know why, and Erik ten Hag has not given him a chance to go in and play into the first 11 of United, but we are waiting to see what is really going to happen when United is really doing its best into this game. But Danny Van Beek, we expect him to lift himself up into this game of Crystal Palace, as he needs to go on and prove to the manager that, all right, I'm working hard, you know me, but I have to go into this game by merit, not favoritism. Amad Diallo, expect him to play off the right side of the attacking midfield in there for you. And guess what? We are going to having Facundo Pelestri playing off the left attacking side of the midfield, because he never played in the other game that we played against Melbourne Town. And guess who is leading the line? Obviously, Marcus Rashford in there for you. Now, for this team, you see it very well. The reason as to why I really put Rashford in there for you is that he's supposed to be part of the first starting 11, but we don't have a striker who can really give us enough balance in the second lineup of United. That's why the manager is really using him to lead the line. And he knows that United might not get in a centre forward, and they might use Rashford sometimes as a centre forward, because you're going to be playing very many games in there for you. But Rashford is really expected to be into this lineup. But obviously, when you're playing teams like Rayo Vallecano, the last game, I expect that squad of United to be having Rashford onto the left side, Martial leading the line, and Sancho to the right. But that is my starting 11 of Manchester United as we play a side which goes by the names of Crystal Palace, and those are the two lineups, and that's how I expect our team to line up in there for you as they play on a side which goes by names of Palace in Melbourne in there for you. Now, allow me bring you this Crystal Palace lineup. You guys, I think this is the best test we are going to have for United. This is the best test we are really going to be having for United ever since we really played into the preseason, because Crystal Palace is really going to give us the real test. After spending like how many weeks working hard, now we are going to get to know how are you going to act when you're playing Crystal Palace. When you look at Crystal Palace, that's how they lined up with playing Liverpool. The Liverpool beat them by 2-0. They had Guaita in goal, Klein, Anderson, Ward, and Michel. They had Phillips, Milankovic, Sachi, Ayew Mateta, and Eduardo. That was the first 11 of a side which goes by names of Crystal Palace. So we expect them to get us to the game that we expect to give us in the year onto this channel, and Crystal Palace is really going to go on and do the needful to hurt us into that game. So your predictions are welcome into the comment section below. But Crystal Palace had very many good people on bench in there for you, and they came in through, but they were beaten by Liverpool by 2-0. So this is our predicted lineup, and I will believe that when you talk about the match analysis, it's really going to give us the best test that we've gotten in here for you, because Crystal Palace are really so much physical. They are really so much pressing a team. But I believe you're going to beat them, because we beat them before when you're having a manager like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who never had a system of play. He just sat back and really played that long ball to let it long. You get? That's what he was doing. But right now, I expect a team that is so much organized under Erik ten Hag to get in and really beat totally a side which goes by the Crystal Palace perfectly, because we are going to be having a system of play that is really going to give us the best. And Patrick Vieira, the coach of Crystal Palace, has come out and really hailed the manager of Manchester United and said a lot of improvement has been made, and he believes that United is no longer the United played last season, and he needs to go on and really take caution when he's really going to put up the 11 players that are really going to face Manchester United. And he has really given us lots of hails. And trust me, this is what we want as Manchester United, that we want other opponents to respect us. We want every opponent who comes at Old Trafford to know that I'm going in a stadium where I'm going to lose. We just have to first beat their minds, and then we beat their bodies too on the field of play. But the United that was here for the previous years, any team would come in here and really beat us at Old Trafford. Even away, we never played like a big team, because it's we who really sat behind and we let those teams attack us, then we play them on the break. That is not the United way. United needs to be playing like a big team. We need to act like a big team, and thanks to Erik ten Hag, and now we are behaving like a big team, and we're going to beat every Tom, Dick, and Harry in this game of football, and we are going to dominate play as we dominated against Liverpool and Melbourne in there for you. So thank you guys for watching in. Tell me your prediction as this video really ends. Tell me your prediction for this game, and smash the like button, comment, and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to our channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily, and exactly tell us what you think about my lineup that I've really chosen, the two lineups. You can as well tell me who do you think should start in the first 11 and who do you think shouldn't be in the starting 11 there for you. I've given the ball over to you, and your opinions are welcome in the comment section below as far as United is going to start against a side which goes by names of Crystal Palace in here onto the United Matters channel. I'll sign out for now. See you later, my mates.